Every year, a big new studio movie completely flops at the box office. This year, it was Snow White. And after that happens, everybody claims that the movie industry is dying. Nobody's going to go to theaters anymore. So let's take a look at the top 10 highest grossing movies of the year so far and see if the industry really is dying. But before we get to this year's top 10, let's look at the top 10 of the past 2 years to get some context of what the box office was looking like for the first 3 months of the year. So 2023 up until March, this is what the box office was looking like. You had the Super Mario Bros. Movie already making almost $700 million, which is absolutely insane. Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was really a flop, but it still made $474 million. Creed made $400 million. John Wick Chapter 4, $350. And 2023 was really just a strong year overall, and it started incredibly strong too, because look at only 3 months into the year, only 2 of the top 10 movies worldwide made under $100 million worldwide, which is really crazy, especially when you look at 2024 and 2025's box office. Like looking at 2024, it starts off strong with Dune Part 2 that came out at the very beginning of March, already had $500 million by the end of March. But then if you look at the rest of the movies, Kung Fu Panda 4, it went on to make a lot of money, but only $179 million up to this point. Bob Marley, One Love, $170 million. The Beekeeper, $150 million. And as you can see, from 6 to 10 on this list already all made under $100 million. So already a huge downgrade from 2023. So now let's just get into the top 10 highest grossing movies of 2025 now that we're 3 months into the year. Number 10 is Flight Risk, which has made $44 million worldwide. I guess Mark Wahlberg has enough household name appeal to get people to go and see this, even though it was a complete abomination. Felt like a streaming movie in the worst way possible. Even though $44 million in the world of film isn't anything crazy, I honestly can't believe this movie even made that much. And number 9 is One of Them Days, the new comedy with Keke Palmer and SZA. I actually haven't seen this yet. I do plan on getting to it before the year is over. I love that a comedy film is able to make $51 million. Again, a little discouraging that the 9th highest grossing film of the year only has made $51 million worldwide though. At number 8, we have Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. This movie made $57 million worldwide. Again, if you forgot how much the movie's made in 2023 already, this would not even crack the top 10 of that, and it's already number 8 on this year's list. At number 7, we have The Monkey. Horror movies continue to prove they are like the money glitch in Hollywood, because for the most part, they are way cheaper than other films, and a lot of general audiences are willing to go check out new original concepts when it comes to horror movies compared to every other genre for some reason. Like, I don't know what that phenomenon is. Like, if you just have a pretty decent trailer that shows the concept of your horror movie and makes it look like you're going to get some good scares out of it, people are willing to go and see it, which, like I said, is a good thing. This movie made $62 million worldwide. Again, not like earth-shattering numbers, but compared to the budget, actually pretty good. At number 6 is Snow White, which is now in its second weekend, and it's made $96 million worldwide so far, but this thing is already looking like it's going to have a huge drop this week and probably an even bigger drop next week when we get the Minecraft movie. It might underperform and make under $100 million domestically. This movie really just seemed like it was doomed to fail. First of all, newest reports from the New York Times are saying that the budget for this film was like $350 million, and we're learning it's because they pretty much shot like 2 different movies and ended up using a mixture of both of them, because Disney just has no quality control for the scripts or anything. They have no idea what they're actually going to film when they start making these movies, and it just overinflates the budget because they're filming so much more than they have to. I mean, we're using CGI dwarfs that definitely inflated the cost of this movie tenfold. You have the actresses that everybody hates for different reasons, even though I am like the number 1 Rachel Zegler defender, it feels like. Gal Gadot apparently got paid $15 million in this movie to give one of the most laughably bad performances I've ever seen in my life. I really don't know what Disney was thinking with this casting. Like, I feel like the way to make these movies profitable is you film them on real locations instead of like a CGI dwarfs with a CGI forest. Get a newer upcoming star like Rachel Zegler or someone that you can pay less in the leading role, and you get another smaller star to play the evil queen. Like, nobody was going to go and see the Snow White movie because they saw Gal Gadot's name on the poster. She's not that type of star that brings people to the theaters. No reason to spend $15 million on her. Even in addition to all the drama, the major budget and everything, I think mostly it comes down to the simple fact that Disney overestimates how iconic the original Snow White movie really is. Listen, you're selling this movie to kids nowadays. The original Snow White movie is 100 years old. Okay, it's not quite 100 years old, but you get my point. Like, no modern kids really care about this story. Like, Rachel Zegler got attacked for saying it's outdated. Yeah, no duh it is. I don't know why that's controversial. The movie is 85 years old. That's why I think the Lilo and Stitch movie is actually going to make a lot more money, because the nostalgia is more recent. A lot of young adults and kids actually grew up with that movie because it's not that old. At number 5 this year is Bong Joon-ho's latest movie, Mickey 17, making $111 million worldwide, ultimately still flopping at the box office because the budget was $250 million or something similar. I honestly don't care. I feel like we need to give our great directors like Bong Joon-ho these big budgets, and you're just letting them make art. I don't know how they ever thought this was going to be profitable, but it is sad that more people didn't go and check it out. Now, I don't think this is like the greatest Bong Joon-ho movie ever to exist or anything. It's definitely towards the bottom of my list of his favorites, honestly, but it is just funny how you have that huge crowd of people online always complaining, oh, we don't get original movies or anything anymore. But then, even though Snow White's underperforming, that almost made as much in its first 2 weeks as this has in an entire month. At number 4, yes, you're reading this right, it's Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. This movie has made $125 million worldwide, but the catch is that worldwide pretty much all comes from the United Kingdom and other overseas territory. This didn't even release in the US theaters. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't even know this was a thing. If I got any British viewers, you can let me know in the comments if this is like a big thing overseas, because clearly based on these box office numbers, it must be a pretty decent sized franchise or like series. I don't even know what this is based on, honestly. At number 4 is Dogman, which made $130 million worldwide. Again, it came out of the gates so unbelievably strong in its opening weekend and kind of just faltered after that, which is really disappointing. I mean, it still did make a decent amount. I'm sure on streaming, this is going to pull crazy numbers from kids watching it over and over again. But I really had a blast with this movie, and I was hoping it would be one of those surprise films to make like over $200 million. Still early in the year, but it kind of feels like the early contender to be like Transformers 1 from last year, like a really great animated movie from a popular series that just didn't make a ton of money at the box office. It seems like the only animated movies to make a ton of money are these like Disney and Pixar sequels that they keep putting out. Like Moana 2 was a cash cow, Inside Out 2 was one of the most highest grossing movies of all time. At number 2 is Captain America Brave New World, which made $403 million worldwide, and as you can guess it, which is a theme on pretty much all of these movies, it pretty much flopped compared to its budget, which was somewhere reported around, they claim it's like $150 million. Other outlets were saying, oh yeah, no, it's actually closer to like $250, $300 million. We don't know until like next year what the actual budget will end up being. It is kind of hilarious though that this is the current state. Like this movie's made $400 million, second highest grossing movie of the year so far, and all the conversation was just about how this is such a major flop, which for the MCU standards, it really was. If you look at the MCU's highest grossing movies of all time, on the left is obviously the movie name, and all the way on the right after the red line is the worldwide box office gross. It's definitely towards the bottom of the list there. It's great by more than like the Eternals, Black Widow, which were both released during the pandemic and were, I think, available at home at the same time. I know Black Widow was. I can't remember with Eternals, honestly, because I just blocked that movie out of my mind. I did find it surprising looking at this list that the first Captain America movie only made $370 million worldwide, but I guess it was right after the first Iron Man. The MCU was still getting its footing underneath it. Again, same with the Incredible Hulk, who did not make that much money whatsoever. And then you have the Marvels under $200 million worldwide. I don't think this movie was ever going to make $1 billion, but I do think it was a really solid film that just got overhated, and a lot of people I think didn't even give it a chance and just went with the chatter they saw online about it. But at number 1 is surprisingly Ne Zha 2 from China. This movie has already crossed $2 billion worldwide. I didn't even hear of this thing until it opened up, and it was already just obliterating records. It made the most money ever for a movie in a single country in China, making over $1 billion there alone. It just casually came out of nowhere for us in the States here who weren't familiar with the first movie. Became the highest grossing animated movie of all time. Like, it was light work. Like, Disney, nope, forget them. We're jumping right over them and obliterating all their records. Apparently, everybody that's checking this out, even in the States, are saying that this one's really good, even though the first one's not. So if you've seen it, let me know in the comments below. Am I missing out? Should I watch these two movies? If you're a huge movie box office nerd like me, tap the playlist above me. It's all my box office videos, predictions for the next 3 years, what superhero movies will make $1 billion, and so much more. Thank you so much for watching.